Hey guys, I'm Jordan Giorgio and it's time for Quick Hitters. I've got all your top headlines in sports going on right now. We'll start with a recap of all the biggest games in the NBA from last night. Chris Paul's 25 points led the Houston Rockets to their 16th straight win after taking down the Oklahoma City Thunder 122-112. The Golden State Warriors won their 6th straight since the All-Star break by rolling past the Brooklyn Nets 114-101. Steph Curry scored 34 points with 6 three-pointers, while Kevin Durant added 19 points and 6 rebounds. Here's a quick recap of all those final scores in the NBA from last night. The Trail Blazers took down the New York Knicks 111-87, and the Washington Wizards beat the Miami Heat 117-113 in overtime. That was your recap in the NBA from last night. Let's now transition into college basketball. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are kings of the West Coast Conference once again after they clinched their 20th consecutive NCAA tournament appearance thanks to a 74-54 victory over the BYU Cougars. The Cougars, meanwhile, 24-10, are currently at best a bubble team for the NIT tournament. 4 more teams punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament, including Charleston, Wright State, LIU, Brooklyn, and South Dakota State. Also in college basketball, according to Gary Parrish of CBS Sports, Memphis is considering firing head coach Tubby Smith and replacing him with former Tigers legend Penny Hardaway, and that Hardaway has already started assembling a staff which could include legendary college and NBA coach Larry Brown. That was your recap from last night in sports. Let's now get into what everyone's talking about on social media. Following a breakout performance at the NFL Scouting Combine, Penn State's former running back Saquon Barkley has found himself linked to the Cleveland Browns, who claimed this year's #1 overall draft pick. Yesterday, the Browns' most infamous former player, quarterback Johnny Manziel, was working on his #comeback season, and he posted a picture on Instagram of himself and Barkley working out together, captioning the photo, "Undisputed #1 pick." Next up, despite currently being sidelined and recovering from a ruptured Achilles, New Orleans Pelicans star DeMarcus Cousins still appears to be in good spirits and clearly working on his comeback season. Here he is proving he could still knock down shots like it's nothing. And all of Pennsylvania is fighting for the king. It was a big day yesterday for wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Juju Smith-Schuster. It is official, people. He has announced his campaign to recruit Cleveland Cavaliers star LeBron James to Pittsburgh. And lastly, the Arizona Diamondbacks introduced on Twitter the new on-track bullpen cart. Great idea, right? But it got me thinking, what could possibly go wrong here? Well, let's take a quick throwback to 2001. A.J. Burnett's warming up and his pitch destroys the window of a truck passing behind home plate with Billy the Marlin on it, almost knocking him out. Those were all your top social moments in sports. Let's take a look what's going on tonight. The Denver Nuggets will host the Cleveland Cavaliers at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. One day after arguably the worst loss of the season against the Dallas Mavericks, the Nuggets are back home to face the Cavaliers, but can they dethrone the King twice in 1 week? The Cavaliers will be hoping for a similar outcome after their 112-90 victory over the Detroit Pistons. The Houston Rockets and Milwaukee Bucks will tip off tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Bucks need a victory tonight after losing 5 of their last 6 games, and it'll be a tough task considering the James Harden-led Rockets are red hot, having won 16 straight. Here's a look at all those matchups going on tonight in the NBA. The Utah Jazz hit the road to take on the Indiana Pacers. The Memphis Grizzlies will face the Chicago Bulls. The Toronto Raptors will battle it out with Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons. We've also got the New Orleans Pelicans and Sacramento Kings. And lastly, the Orlando Magic will take on the Los Angeles Lakers. That's what's going on in the NBA tonight. Let's go ahead and see what's happening in college basketball. There you've got a ton of conference tournament action going on in the second round of the ACC tournament. Virginia Tech and Notre Dame will tip off tonight along with North Carolina and Syracuse. The first round in the Big 12 conference tournament will begin with Oklahoma State and Oklahoma, and the winner will play Kansas. Texas will play Iowa State as well tonight, and that winner will face Texas Tech. And in the Big East, Georgetown and St. John's will kick off the first round. That winner will face Xavier, and Marquette and DePaul will also battle it out, and the winner will play Villanova. That's what's happening in sports tonight, and that was Quick Hitters. I'm Jordan Giorgio. I'll see you next time.